Heyo, Splatoon 3 was just announced a bit ago, and I hope a lot of new people are coming into the community. With an amazing trailer Nintendo showed off at the last Nintendo Direct, a lot of Splatoon fans were immensely hyped, and are already drawing, making, and speculating how everything would work out. But people who are new to the series are still questioning everything. That's why I'm here. I'm going to explain the basis of the whole of Splatoon, the gameplay, story, characters, community, whatever it is, and how it will tie in to Splatoon 3. So anyone who's interested or maybe needs a refresher, welcome to the world of Splatoon. Okay, Nintendo wanted to make a new IP back in 2013 and wanted a kid-friendly shooter of some sorts. They eventually came into the conclusions that squids would work, but they looked weird, so scrapped the idea. Later they went back to squids and also made them kids, and boom, the Inkling was born. Inklings are part squid, part kid, and their whole gimmick is that they can walk on two legs, look like humans, but can turn into squids in an instant, and swim through the ink. Where does this ink come from, you ask? Well, it's a shooter, so they shoot the ink and then swim through it. This game, Splatoon, came out in 2015 on the Wii U. And people freaking loved it. The gameplay of fast-paced shooting, the movement as you swim, and stealth through the ink made people fall in love, with many weapons to splat your opponent and bring them back to the spawn, so you can paint the ground. Speaking of, the main game mode in Splatoon is called Turf War. This is where you use your varying weapons to shoot, paint, or splat the ground and take territory over the other team in any ways possible. If you paint them enough, they get splatted and they'll have to respawn back at their base. You may shoot the floor to gain turf points, but I'll talk about those later. There are also some sub-weapons that can be bombs, chickens, or even beacons that you can jump to. These are paired with your main weapons. I'm going to explain those now. Okay, in Splatoon 1 there are shooters, rollers, chargers, sloshers, brushers, blasters, and splatlings. While in Splatoon 2 they also added dualies and umbrellas. I did that first try, oh my gosh. Shooters are very basic weapons. They're usually easy to understand. Just point and shoot. Next, we have the rollers. It's kind of like what everybody thinks of when you think Splatoon weapon. It's a giant paint roller that can slosh and roll over people. This is more up-close personal weapon. Okay, next we have chargers. Chargers are snipers, but leave a trail behind them where the ink goes. Sloshers, they're buckets that go swish. Nothing else to really say, lol. Blasters are shooters, but they're also kind of like firework launchers and make a mini explosion in the air. It's kind of weird, but alright. Splatlings are also shooters, but you charge them up like a shooter and then shoot much farther and much longer. Instead of holding down the button, shoot to hold to charge it, and then you let it rip. Splatoon 2 added a bit more with umbrella being a shotgun type weapon, but if you hold down the trigger, the umbrella pops out and works as a shield. And then if you hold it down even more, it can shoot out as a moving barrier. People hate this weapon because it sucks. Splatoon 2 also added the dualies, which is a shooter, but it has two guns. Whoa! And you can also roll around like a child. People love this, because they love rolling around like a child. In Splatoon 3, however, there's one more weapon that was announced. It was a bow of some sort, and it looks cool. Yeah. Okay, let's move into the specials. Specials are weapons that you get from turfing the ground, and has temporary, but broken uses in Splatoon. In Splatoon 1, you can just spawn an ink tornado, or a giant laser. In Splatoon 2, they are much more balanced, sometimes, and can be a really great way to get back on the right foot with your team. Before we go into the story mode, I do want to get on things I missed. For example, there are other modes called ranked modes with varying objectives, but most people just stick to Turf War unless they want to suffer up to X rank. There are also these things called Splatfests, where you vote on a side and then fight for it. These can be pretty cool things, like ketchup, or mayo, or fighting over race. Oh, okay. It's finally getting to the story mode. It's okay. Most people play the series for the multiplayer, but it's a cool little distraction and tutorial for first and second game. Okay, we're now heading into spoiler zone. But trust me, the story is kind of boring until the DLC in Splatoon 2. Then I guess it's kind of cool. Okay, the story starts off as you, a young Inkling, traveling into Inkopolis for the first time, and you see a shady old man in the sewers. If you actually follow him, you go down into the Octo Canyon, which is where all the Octarians are. Octarians are octopus people? There are also Octoling, which are kind of like squid kids, but they have 8 legs. Okay, no, that's not true. They kind of just look different and want to kill you. You meet Agent 1 and 2, and with Captain Cuttlefish, he declares you Agent 3. In the Octo Canyon, the Octarians stole your big fish boy, called the Zapfish, which is a big flying fish that gives the whole city power. Pretty much we stole it from them in a war, and where we practically pushed them underground and took the fish boy. But the Octarians have stole back the Zapfish, so we gotta go catch them. Woo. So, that's what you do. You kind of just go through a big tutorial, and then you make it to DJ Octavio, a DJ with wasabi and has the fish boy. And his boss fight is actually pretty hard in Splatoon 1. Then you go defeat him, with Agent 1 and Agent 2, which end up being Callie and Marie, the news anchors of the game. Then you defeat him, and boom, that's it. Alright, that's pretty much the story of Splatoon 1, with also little collectibles to upgrade your weapon, and find scrolls, which are kind of like a bit of story in Splatoon, but that's practically it. The final Splatfest of Splatoon 1 was Callie versus Marie. The people were fighting over their squiddy waifus in the game, and sometimes in the real world. Marie won. Cool, okay, fast forward 5 years, we're in Splatoon 2. Woo. In Splatoon 2, you're a different Inkling. And then you see Marie standing over the sewers. What? She then explains that Callie is missing. What? Oh, and the Zapfish got stolen again. Also, you're Agent 4 now. But then you go through the same thing, but with Marie. As you go through the same worlds, but different-ish levels. Except now you use all of the weapons. You have to use most on certain levels. Great. To be fair, this actually adds a lot more fun and memorable levels, like the stealth sniper level. Ooh, okay, yada yada, boom. Now you are at the end, and woo, you're now at the end. Who could it be? What? It's DJ Octavio. Didn't see that one coming. But wait, it then pans up to see Callie. What? Callie is helping. I can't do this voice anymore. Nah, she's just being brainwashed, and then you kind of slog through an easy fight with DJ Octavio until Marie gets there and just straight up 360 no-scopes Callie's brainwash glasses. Then they start dancing. Thanks, guys. With them dancing and Callie magically changing clothes, you defeat DJ Octavio and win the thing. Yay. Before we get into the DLC of Splatoon 2, we need to talk about Salmon Run. Salmon Run is Splatoon's version of zombie game, where you pretty much meet a bear statue with an antenna on his head and a speaker. He then gives you illegal weapons to go kill salmons to get salmon eggs. But something seems fishy about him, but you go along with it because it's free money. Okay, now we are finally at the DLC called Octo Expansion. But first, let's explain some more things about Splatoon 2. In Splatoon 2, the news anchors are Marina and Pearl. Pearl, everyone hates, and Marina, everyone loves. That's about all you need to know. Okay, now that the DLC is unlocked, you go to a big stairway that leads down to a train station, but you can't get through, so you end up just listening in. Okay, that's why, because you're not the player character in the DLC. You are someone completely new. Remember what I said about Octolings being like Inklings, but they want to kill you? Well, that's kind of what they are in the story mode of Splatoon 1 and 2. I mean, they had brainwash glasses just like Callie. Cool. Well, now you literally play as an Octoling, and it's really cool, and people were freaking out, and in the reveal trailer, and it was a... Okay, I need to stop getting sidetracked. You play as Agent 8, trapped in the Deep Sea Metro. The Deep Sea Metro is a big subway station. You find Captain Cuttlefish, which is now obsessed with rapping, and starts rapping with Pearl on a phone call. Then you try to figure a way out of here. You see this little telephone named Tartar, and he says he's gonna help you escape to the Promised Land? Kinda sus, bro. Kinda sus. You then hop on a subway train to meet a little sea cucumber named CQ Cumber. Wow, very creative game. Then you go around the metro doing different challenges, ranging from shooting a ball or make it to the end without dying. Did I mention this DLC is actually hard? I know, right? Then you do the challenges and find things, which are pieces to definitely not a blender. Then you get all of them and you give them to Tartar, and he puts them all together. Yep, it's a blender. But of course your character and Captain Cuttlefish go inside, because that's how you get to the Promised Land. Then the blender starts to blend you, and boom, out of the roof an Inkling comes to save you. And it's Agent 3, the Inkling you played as from Splatoon 1. You then run up because Marina and Pearl found a way out of the metro. But on the way up, there's a secret boss fight with Agent 3. There's been this weird brainwashing ink that was all over the enemies in the game, but now it's on Agent 3. You fight yourself. Now it takes so much time, over and over, and you die. A lot. Like a lot. It was hard. Okay, now you finally defeat yourself, and you made it to the top. And there's a literal Statue of Liberty. And then you see Tartar on it. You then make it to Pearl and Marina's battleship thing and talk to the girls. They say hi. And then a giant battle cannon comes out of the Statue of Liberty's mouth, of course. And Tartar said, it'll make all Inklings go extinct. Marina's like, uh-oh, that's not cool, dude. And then sends a giant suction bomb on Lady Liberty. But you have to activate them. Okay, cool. If I don't do it in time, it kills all of Squid Vanity. Nice. Alright, so then you go around the giant statue, activating the bombs, covering the whole thing in ink, but it does not work. So he starts firing the giant cannon. But Pearl pulls a cannon out of her back and starts screaming at the top of her lungs, and it's an intense laser battle thing. And it's just a cutscene, and boom, you almost lose, then win. Woo! So now we know there's a pattern. Every final Splatfest ends with a story change for the next game. The final fest, I say that because it's not the final one. They redid a couple after, and there was also a Mario one. But it was the technical final one, and it's going to change the story for Splatoon 2. It was Chaos versus Order. Marina on Order and Pearl on Chaos. And Chaos won. Fast forward to the latest direct in what? Splatoon 3. And there's this thing called Splatlands, and we didn't see literally any water anywhere in the trailer. And the new Inkopolis is called the Splatsville, and it's based off of Hong Kong's busy streets and residential areas. It also shows a new weapon type, which I already explained, and a salmon from Salmon Run that is now your pet? Buddy? Friend? There's also new hairstyles, and a freaking upside-down Eiffel Tower, and that's pretty much it. Besides a bit more special weapons that are hard to see in the trailer. Okay, I think that's all the basis of Splatoon. The community is great, always theorizing and making art with great memes as well, and they're always nice. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and subscribe or little buddy will commit murder.
Run.
Comment everything I missed that could be helpful for the newbies out there, and thank you so much for watching. Later, bye. Oh, I forgot to mention I stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and every other Friday at 7:45 p.m. Central. Thank you, bye.